My name is Sai Bhatawdekar, and I'm an associate professor of Hindi and Urdu at University of Hawaii. Here I find sort of different points of connection with different people, at the same time feeling extremely an outsider to all this very closely knit group that has sort of come together and bonded in the last couple of days. It's time to introduce our first reader, our first speaker. So he is visiting Hawaii as part of a workshop organized by the Center for Biographical Research, Caste and Life Narratives. Please welcome Sunil Boas.
Good morning. I would not be around when you read this letter. Don't get angry on me. I know that some of you truly cared for me, loved me, and treated me very well. I have no complaints on anyone. It was always with myself I had problems. I feel a growing gap between my soul and my body, and I have become a monster. Our feelings are second-handed. Our love is constructed. Our beliefs colored. Our originality valid through artificial art. It has become truly difficult to love without getting hurt. Never was a man treated as a mind, as a glorious thing made up of stardust. In every field, in studies, in streets, in politics, and in dying and living. I'm writing this kind of letter for the first time. My birth is my fatal accident. I can never recover from my childhood loneliness. I'm not hurt at this moment. I'm not sad. I'm just empty. I wish all the very best for the future. For one last time, Jai Bhim!
Heartfelt and emotional performance, and I'm sure we all share the investment that you have in the book. Our next presenter is Tapan Basu, who's a member of the faculty at the Department of English, University of Delhi. So please, Tapan, the stage is yours.
42 वर्ष बीते आज़ादी ये भारत को, तब जाकर हमें अपने बाबा का ख्याल आया। आया यह गनीमत है जमहूरी हुकूमत में, जातों के झमेलों में, धर्मों के बिछोड़ों में, वोटों के लिए चाहे वजीब ये इनाम आया, अब जाकर हमें अपने बाबा का ख्याल आया। भीष्म के तरह जिनके गिन गिन के तीर झेले, धृतराष्ट्र के बेटे थे, कुछ थे मनु के चेले। अफसोस की जुल्म का अब तक न विराम आया, अब जाकर हमें अपने बाबा का ख्याल आया। The second poem is by a woman poet, Dalit woman poet. Why is it that even a leaf does not stir? When we are raped, even gang raped, why is it that even a leaf does not stir? Why did we hear today the demand for death sentence to the rapists, when yesterday you, all of you, were mute? Was the Maulana Azad Medical College students' rape the first rape ever? If not, then why were you, all of you, silent when I was being raped, even gang raped? Yes, the answer is this, that you are from the upper caste, the pure caste, while I, after all, am a mere Dalit. Had you all of you not turned a blind eye to the ravishment of 1,000 maidens, maybe my voice would have added its mild power to yours. Your child would have been spared the pain of rape, for which you are sorry, and so am I. I am sorry you could not escape the bonding with us in the pain of rape, yet you chose to remain quiet, as before, unmoved, opaque, ascetic, appearing as though nothing had happened.
When I teach languages to my students, we always discuss this feeling of what the same words and how they cut through your heart in your mother tongue. But if you hear the same word in a foreign language, in a second language, in a third language, the effect is different, or the effect is maybe sometimes reduced. And to negotiate that kind of subtlety, that kind of intensity in two languages is an enormously difficult task. So thank you for doing this. And next presenter is Laura Brueck. She's an associate professor of Hindi literature and South Asian studies in Northwestern University. Please welcome Laura Brueck.
This comes from the story Godna, or Tattoo. Oof, these are really old and faded too. This was my first thought moments after I entered the gym, even before I gathered my bearings. It was like a sudden heavy downpour, or as though a door had suddenly opened and someone had thrown a bucket of water through it without looking to see if there were anyone outside.
Laura, speak up.
Who then was now revealed? For as I looked at my battered old shoes, the words Namo Buddhaya, Jai Bhim, tattooed on my right forearm caught my eye. Oddly, whenever I went to such places as this gym, I always became self-conscious about this tattoo, as I did today about my shoes. Hello! A young man seated on a throne-like chair saw my smile and greeted me with one in return. Suddenly the girl increased the speed of her treadmill and started jogging. Your name, sir? He asked, his pen poised over the column on the form. Subhash Kumar. I wanted to add +1, but desisted after a moment's thought. Is that it, sir? Any surname? He asked casually. His eyes were still on the form. Is it necessary to put down a surname? Anger suddenly colored my voice. This was a completely foolish, unjustified reaction. I looked again at my shoes. I had bought them 7 years ago. They were quite cheap. I got them for 450 rupees at a Columbus company sale. Finally, to be free of this, I took myself in hand. This is it. I should neither hide from them nor be ashamed of them, I told myself firmly, and found unprecedented joy and strength in the thought. I was now doing every kind of exercise and had yet to be questioned by anyone. The best support is to make oneself strong from within. I had come to accept my shoes. Suddenly his eyes fell upon the tattoo on my wrist. Namo Buddhaya Jai Bhim. Oof, these old and discolored shoes can always be changed, but this tattoo, it has seeped, drop by little drop, into my consciousness and has permeated my entire being.
Really, from the short poetry pieces to this amazingly detailed description of every movement, this brings up the spectrum of what we're doing here. Thank you. Our next presenter is Mukul Sharma. He's a Delhi-based scholar, writer, and development professional specializing on environment, human rights, labor, media, and communication.
There was a bird. Every day, the bird, she would fly to far-off places in search of feed. And in the evening, she would come back to her nest. One day she came back. She found that her nest had disappeared. It took her a moment or two to realize that it was the sea's doing. For many days that followed, they saw the bird do the same thing, same thing. Then they realized that the sea was really unjust. If the bird did not get back her nest, they thought it would be a matter of humiliation, great enough for the whole community of birds to feel let down by sea. So all the birds approached the sea and requested it to return the nest. But the sea, of course, no heat again. Then all the birds unanimously said, "We shall drain all your water." But the sea, of course, did not buzz an inch. Now that was too much. The birds instantly dipped their beaks into the sea, carried some water, and threw it out of the sea. After many days, Garuda, the king of birds, came to know of this incident from somewhere. He thought that the whole world was coming together against him. Now he returned the nest to the bird in no time. Thus, an impossible task was accomplished. That is the story, retold by Dasrat Manji, along with other poems, other stories that made his task possible, impossible, possible. Thank you.
Please welcome Rajiv Mohabir.
Good evening. Do not mistake yourself for a wolf. Your plantation days of illiterate indenture still dusk the horizon. Crouch in the field of yellowing cane. Your ears and snout obscure your form. Your skin sings one song, while people hear another. Your grandmother picks a book from the shelf and folds it into her bag. She takes it to market to wrap the fish she buys. You descend from a misread line of poetry that grasp a cutlass. You cannot change your hide. Your parents are not from India and only curse in Bhojpuri. Other Indians don't know your drawl and laugh at your rustic coat. You split from them for Skeldon and Lusignan. Here, everyone calls your camouflage a different name. Some jackal, brush wolf, some shudra or sand nigger. Americans fear you will kidnap their litter, drag them from jump ropes, jaws locked around blonde heads. They misread poverty for poetry. At dusk, cry these spirits into old Hindi film songs. They will clink as ice in your glass of rum.
Now finally, Shankar. Written, edited, and translated 8 books, the most recent being the award-winning Flesh and Fish Blood, Post-Colonialism, Translation, and the Vernacular, and the forthcoming novel, Ghost in the Tamarind Tree. Shankar is the author of the novel No End to the Journey, which came out in 2005, and the volume of criticism Textual Traffic, Colonialism, Modernity, and the Economy of the Text, 2001. He has countless scholarly essays appearing all over the world. He is professor of English and director of creative writing at the University of Hawaii, Manoa, and is on the program committee of the Modern Language Association. Round of applause for Shankar.
I thought I would read this passage because there is a kind of a connection with life narratives, because it is based on stories which have been told in my family, which is about my father's grandmother, who was married as a very young woman to a man much older than herself and much more wealthy than her, and had 3 sons, and her husband died when she was still in her, I suppose, in her early 20s, and then against great odds, kept the property of the family together. So in the midst of all my trepidation, I do like that, along with Rajiv, I'm providing you with the story of a woman. Gomati Party had grown up the 3rd daughter of Nilakanta Sastika, an impoverished but respectable priest in the distant village of Korupati. The Brahmin section of the village was small. The village temple, of which Gomati Party's father was a priest, was accordingly modest, with no endowed fields attached to it. He raised his 3 daughters with little financial or other kind of assistance from relatives. It helped that the eldest was already 12 when the mother died, and he found himself forced to marry the first two into families even more impoverished than his own. It was the best he could do given what he was able to provide as dowry. When it came to Gomati, no party at this point in her life, he was determined to do better. She was his favorite. He said, "You and I are left alone in this house now." He spoke in a low voice so that the neighbors passing along the street would not overhear their conversation. "Yes, Gomati. It is time to get you married. When that is done, all my obligations will be finished. It has not been easy with 3 mouths to feed. You're my last worry in my life. Already you're a woman. You've been one for more than a year. I should have found you a match before you became one." The neighbors make hurtful remarks every chance that they get about how I keep a grown daughter at home. "I don't care about the neighbors. I like being here with you," Gomati replied. "Yes, child, but 2 offers of marriage have come for you. In both cases, the size of the dowry will not be a concern. I'm not a rich man. How can I ignore fortune come knocking on the door like this?" Gomati, young though she was, understood her father's predicament. Gomati was silent, thinking about the 2 offers of marriage that had been made for her. The man from Pavlampatti is rich. He's a big landlord. If you marry him, you will never have to worry about money again. How many days we have gone to bed after eating just 1 meal in the day, and that too rice bowl with a little bit of lime pickle. You will never have to do that again if you marry the man from Pavlampatti. I've made careful inquiries. I'm told he's a good man. The horoscopes match. You want me to marry the rich man? No, child, I don't know what I want. Sometimes I think one thing and sometimes another. It is true the rich man is much older than you. My heart falters when I think about that. I keep asking myself what your mother would say. The cook is handsome, is a good match for your beauty, and perhaps will be a better companion to you. But then again, what pleasure is there in being poor? Right now, I don't know what to tell you. Child, let us think about this some more. At first, Gomati could only think of how the cook had stood in the clearing and boldly looked at her. She felt once again the thrill, the powerful stir of deep desire. She had felt then. But then her mind turned more and more to her sisters. She thought especially about her eldest sister, who had been a kind of surrogate mother to her after their own mother had died. This sister's husband too was handsome, and what good had that done? Dark circles were etched permanently around her eyes. Indeed, darkness dug deep within the eyes too. Gomati thought of those eyes filled with darkness and felt wrecked. Soon, without any prompting from her father, Gomati herself broached the subject of her marriage. "Appa, I have decided." "What have you decided?" "About the marriage. I will marry the rich man from Pavlampatti." "What are you saying, child? When you're still young, he'll be an old man. Kumaraswamy Iyer was old enough to be Gomati's father. You say he's a good man. If God wills it, I'll spend a long, happy life with him. I've seen what poverty does to men. What guarantee is there that I would be happy with the cook? What do I really know of him as a person?"
This was the last presentation, so thank you again for the research, for Center for Biographical Research, Craig, Cindy, and Tom, for hosting this amazing workshop and the special issue on Caste and Life Narrative, to Shankar and Charu for editing the volume, for all of you for coming here. Thank you again for